Hey, what's up, guys? So, I guess this is a 2K sub special. I'm about to be 2.2K, so I better get on this video before I end up at 3K. So I figured I'd do a Q&A. This is just the easiest thing to do. It's thunderstorming outside, so perfect time to record a video. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to read the question. I'm going to try and make this quick. I don't want it to take 30 minutes, maybe 20 or so. It's kind of what I'm aiming at. So I'm going to go through this whole 33 comments here. I'm going to read the question and give my answer. I guess that's just the best way to do it. If it's a more complicated question, then I'll kind of give a summary of it, or yeah. So that's how I'm doing it. So Thalos here says, or asks, have you considered analyzing user submitted, hang on, this is going to be loud. Okay. User submitted Guild War defenses the way you did in the previous Guild War defense videos. I found them pretty interesting, and it's always useful to hear other people's thoughts on your defense teams and how they would go about fighting them. That's actually a very good idea. And if I was going to do something like that, I would probably do a community post like this and just have you guys post an image or a screenshot is probably the best way I would do that. And then I would just go through the imager shots and save all the ones I'm going to review, and then go through them, in my phone gallery and just kind of give thoughts on them. That's something I could possibly do, something I might do. I appreciate that suggestion. That's actually a really good idea. So I guess look forward to that. If you see my community posts, definitely come back and comment on them, because it's... Holy crap, that was right outside, man. Holy shit. Alright. Well, I still got power, so we're good. But, yeah, that's a great idea. That's something I will definitely consider doing. Okay, I don't know how to say this. Sameh? Nosley, I guess? He says, congrats, interview at Damone was also really nice to listen. Here's my questions. Do you think limited hero dependency hurts new accounts PvE-wise? I mean, heroes like Luna, Diane, Baiken, which are pretty strong in several aspects of the game, more lightning, PvE included. And what are the alternatives that we can truly use instead of limited heroes? Please think in short pool of heroes, easy accessibility. Okay, so flat out right here, Baiken, she's not absolutely necessary. She's nice to have, but you don't really need her for most PvE content. She's decent for Banshee, but she's not even the best thing for Banshee. There's other units that are really good in Banshee, and a replacement for Luna is really just Lorena, and everyone gets her. It's a time commitment thing. You're gonna have to farm to get her, and you're gonna have you don't really have to invest heavily in her skill tree, but I would still recommend doing it. All of her skill tree equates to a couple decent high rolls on gear, so it kind of adds up. Deanne, she's awesome. I don't have Deanne, and I've had no issues clearing any content. Montmorency, man. The best answer I can give to this is just build Arena and build Montmorency. There was a rumor, they kind of said something about 3 stars not needing Molagora and using a different currency. If that happens, then those heroes are going to be valued a lot more. So if that happens, great. Hopefully it does. We'll see. But yeah, Lorena and Montmorency for sure. Grad students, I know Movie Star. Yeah, I'm not that popular. Congrats on 2K. My question would... Well, I forgot to read the name. So that was Ricardo. Thanks, Ricardo. I'm not that popular, and this is... He is Darkness, I guess is how you say that. Congrats on the 2K. My question would be, is if you would be willing to do account reviews and or hero reviews, especially when huge buffs or nerfs hit. I definitely already do the hero reviews. It's more of a group overview. If it's a unit that I'm really interested in, I'll probably do one for Euphine, a specific one for Euphine. I did a specific one for Corvus. I did one for Lulica. I did one for Destina. So... God, it's right outside, man. But as for account reviews, that's not really something I'm interested in doing. I just do not have the time to do that. If I ever start streaming, then maybe. But as of right now, I don't have any plans to do that. Appreciate the question. So Patrick Adams here. Before I trash yet another Terranor Royal Guard, I was wondering if anyone fully tested him. Seems like a tossed away unit. I'm thinking Max Mola his S2 and focus on HP, artifact between Oath for sustain, adamant shield. I can't find a single thing about him being used though. Thoughts? I don't know how his base stats are, but I know the damage reflect is really bad. That's why no one uses Dominial either. So if that sees some kind of change, like, I would never suggest to build Terranor Royal Guard over something like Crozet. And Crozet's getting a buff. So, like, pre-buff, I would still build Crozet over Terranor Royal Guard. And now that he's getting buffed and everyone gets him eventually, it's just a way better choice. So I just wouldn't recommend using him. Okay, Zenroth for the win. Dude, congrats on everything so far. You have definitely been one of my favorite YouTubers to date. Watch and learn from. That's cool, man. Appreciate it. I do have some questions as I'm just starting to work my way through Champion. I'm guessing it's Champion, and I'm wondering, and I'm actually working more on defense than anything else. I feel like many know this answer, but I have yet to find out the answer for myself. But how the hell do I defend against Ice Area Tam offense? I feel like I have been able to answer about every other offense but that one. Okay, so I can actually answer this question because I use it. Really, like, Sage Bale is the answer right now. And he's getting nerfed and isn't going to be around much. Not many teams can stop Ice Area Tam on defense. It really just comes to, like, down to, like, how geared they are and how geared you are. Because I know when I was pushing up into, like, the mid 5,300, area, pushing, like, 5,400 in Legend, like, hitting some of those top Legend players with Ice Area Tam, I was still losing just because their gear was so good. So that's really what it comes down to right now. Hopefully, like, with unit changes, we'll get some kind of new unit maybe. Like, I don't know. It's gonna be even worse now that they're nerfing Crimson Armin, and you get 12% more damage essentially with whatever you're nuking with. So I really don't have an answer for that. I wish I did, because I get hit by them a lot too, but I use the comp as well, so it's just like, it really just comes down to, like, how geared your defense is. And things like Elbrus, having an Elbrus unit can be really good too. Multiple Elbrus units, but then that loses to something else. Ice Area Tam is just one of those comps that is, like, hard to stop, unfortunately. Who did I pick my selective summon from? Dom Dom. I started the game January 18th, and I picked Sez, because I looked at an old tier list. So, I picked Sez and Silk. I didn't even know Silk was a connection hero. I just saw that she was an S on a tier list, and that's why I picked her. I don't regret it, though. I use Sez a lot. I don't use him anymore. I got to recall him, so it's cool. From Mr. Cabalotox. Now, Gratz, what's your favorite unit, least liked unit, and a unit you've always wanted to use, no matter the content? My favorite unit, I think, is, Charles. I really like two-hand users. So really anybody that holds a big-ass sword, I like using. My least liked unit is probably Deanne, because I don't have her, and she's just a pain in the ass sometimes. And a unit that you always want to use no matter the content. Corvus. I like seeing if Corvus can solo things. So I guess that's the best way I can answer that. Okay, from Landon Davis. So I have certain units like K-Ron to counter Luna or SS Bologna to counter buff teams in Guild War. However, I often have no idea what to bring against the defense team. I end up with Sage Bell. And I end up with Sage Bell and Silverblade Airmethod to win just through RNG, or lose if RNG isn't on my side. Question is, what kinds of things are you bringing, or are you thinking about when deciding what offense to bring in Guild Wars? That's a good question. It really depends on the defense comp, obviously. Like, if they're, like, on offense, like, the best recommendation I can give is, if there's no sustain on the opposite team, bring sustain if you can't outspeed it and cleave it. Like, It's either outspeed it and cleave it, or have more sustain than them and a high single target damage. That's the best way to play Guild Wars. You can do some big brain comps, you know, like in my previous video when I said Galaxy Brain comp, like when I used MLkin, Sage Bale, and Corvus, like that team was awful. It had no synergy, but it worked in that situation. So there's teams like that that can work, but basically you just want to make sure you know what the AI is going to do. So familiarize yourself with how the AI works, manipulate their high damage target on your tanky target, and just basically play to win. You know, you know what they're going to do, so you have that advantage. You have the soul burn mechanic. They do not. The AI is very predictable unless there's a Luna on the defense. If there's a Luna on the defense, then you know she might hit your weakest target no matter what. So you have to either debuff her before she goes, or you need to crowd control her, or you need some kind of damage mitigation or invincibility, something before her turn. And that's the best advice I think I can give to that without going too in depth. That might be a video idea, but we'll see. Hopefully I answered your question with that. Okay, from Jeremiah, let's say Dakar. Sorry if I butcher anyone's name. I just want to have an auto team for W10, 11. No, you don't want to do 10, dude. Just go straight to 11 from 9. That's what I did. And Golem 2, I'm really struggling with those. I don't know whether it is hero comps or my gear. Any advice would help. It's probably a bit of both, to be honest. I would focus on one before the other, and I would recommend going Wyvern first. Crozet's about to get a buff, and everyone has access to him. Everyone has access to the guild artifact that's in the guild shop. So my recommendation is do your guild wars, get that guild artifact, use Crozet as your front line, stick that on him. Use Montmorency to heal, use Angelica to heal. You could really use any healer you want in Wyvern 11. You could even use like green lots. You just got to make sure your tank can survive. Like if your tank can survive 2 consecutive turns of Wyvern, you're golden. You can take as long as you want to beat him. You don't want to take too long because Wyvern does more damage over time. I learned that the hard way. So you also want to make sure you can get through that barrier with your DPS. So if I was to recommend anything, just build Terran Guard. I still use mine. He's too good to not build. He's perfect for Wyvern. And then whatever ice DPS you have, hopefully you have like a Kisei, a Sigrid, Karin, anything like that. Luna, if you have Luna. I don't know, if you're not in W11 yet, you might not have Luna at this point. So that's what I would recommend. A high single target damage, try to go all ice. And if you absolutely have to, you can use Alexa. Everyone gets Alexa. If you go back through Astronox's old videos, he uses very free-to-play options. So if you're struggling with getting into Wyvern 11, look up Astronox and go check out some of his videos. He's probably like he's well known for his free-to-play stuff. So go check him out. He'll probably be able to help you out more with that than I can. My recommendation is, build Crozet, build Alexa, build Montmorency. Wait until Rod of Amaryllis is in the shop, buy that, and then you're good. Like, you can throw whatever 4th unit you want in there. Okay, from, I don't know if it's Angel or Angel. So, there's that. Is that Baez? Baez? I don't know. Sorry. Awesome dude, and I caught a bit of a live stream interview. I did post previously on one of your videos, but I was really interested in an arena progression guide or tips units recommended. I kind of did one of those, like a free-to-play friendly units for PvP progression or something like that. The meta changes. I don't know what the meta looks like in Challenger anymore because I've been in Champion for like 3 months now. So it's kind of hard for me to, like, I don't think Cleave is the way to go anymore. Cleave doesn't do it. Maybe after the Crimson Armor nerf, it'll get a little bit better, but it's not going to get that much better unless you have very specific stuff like Oxlots. Doing a traditional Cleave where you do combat booster, defense break, AoE, that crap is outdated. It doesn't work anymore. Best suggestion I have is to build yourself a team that has some sustain, some kind of defense break, some kind of really high single target damage, and some kind of mitigation. Whether that be 2 healers, a tank on Arius, and a healer. If you can get all those things on your arena team, I think you can make champion. Then after that, it's really just comes down to gear. And different units definitely help. But if you can get those basic things in your team, you will progress through arena. San Kefla. Yeah, as far as content creators go, you're the Guild War guy. Yeah, I like doing Guild War. It's fun. It's the only content I really enjoy doing right now. You've literally taught me how to read defenses and how to play in offenses, which is awesome. Would you consider making a video spotlighting defense strats you see all the time and how to overcome them? Even produce some more entry-level ones yourself and go over how you'd unravel it with your attack. Our guild came up against a nasty Momo Carmen. A Vildred comp today would be great to know how to approach it, for example. The way I would approach that team, I think I've actually been walled by Montmo Carmen Kin, and I ran Montmo Carmen Charles for a long time. With this team, if you have like Arbiter Vildred is not going to be tanky even through Crimson Armin, right? So if you bring you need like a Crimson Armin in your team to effectively deal with this, I think. You could do it with a Crow with the defense buff. You could even use Fire Maya for the defense buff. You need some kind of mitigation for that Vildred, whether it be an Arius, Crimson Armin, or an AoE defense buff, or a consistent barrier, anti-crit buff with Deanne. You need mitigation on your team to be able to tank him, because you're not really going to be able to one-shot him. The best way, what I would bring into that team is I would probably bring my Carmen, my Momo, and I would try to out-damage them. Momo has nasty healing output, but she's not going to be able to keep that A Vildred alive through my damage, because her healing scales off his HP, and he probably doesn't have a lot. So her heals aren't going to heal him for much. So as soon as you can double kill that Vildred, you win. That's kind of how I would deal with that. But that is a good idea. And I could do I was thinking of doing kind of like a tier list for defenses kind of format. I don't know how I'm going to go about doing that, but it's definitely something I'm thinking about doing. Appreciate your question. And appreciate you watching. I see you in my comments all the time. Okay, it says Timor Tarek. In your opinion, who's the most versatile hero in the game, PvP and PvE both? I'd have to flip a coin between Firekin and Montmorency. It's one of those two. That for sure. One of those two. Kennedy, congrats. You deserve it. Appreciate it. What ML5 would you go for with the selector? What's your ideal offensive, defensive team? What defense have I lost? Okay, the wording on here is confusing me, man. So I'm assuming for that last one, he's like, what defenses do I lose to or have trouble with? I just kind of talked about that a little bit. Montmo, like really tanky teams with a really geared Montmo and Crimson Armin are hard for me to deal with in Guild War. Arena, I don't really do. I just don't enjoy it. But it's kind of that. ML5, I'm probably going to go for D. Corvus, because he's going to eliminate a lot of issues I have in winning in Guild War, because that's all I care about. Ideal offensive and defensive team is one that wins. However you come up with that is however you come up with it. And congrats, man. Appreciate it. Screencasters, how does one handle Arena Guild War defenses without access to ML Nat 5s or Crimson Armin? You got to be creative. That's the best way I could really put it. Going through the unit buffs that just came out, I think Crozit is going to be a lot better now to use because of that one turn defense buff barrier. He's going to be a lot better. I'll probably build him. And they're buffing a lot of these ML4 units. The best way to handle is to know how the AI works. I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. If you can make sure they're, in terms of Guild War, if you can make sure that their high damage threat is on something you want to be getting hit, then you're good. And then for arena, it's just about knowing how the defense operates. If you know what your opponent's trying to do with their team, and you just build something to counteract that. Albert, congrats, dude. Right now I'm in the middle of progressing through hunts to get to Wyvern 11, but I'm getting kind of burnt out of farming fodder for 6-star and Catalyst. I just wanted to know how you went through the journey and what kept you going. As a reference, I've been doing the usual side quest world. This is what he's been. Yeah, I don't know. You just got to keep playing, man. You don't have to play all day, every day. Take a break. You know? Usually when I'm playing this game, I'm doing something else at the same time. That's really just how I did it. But appreciate the question. Candide Hopkins, a good hero substitute for hunts. I don't get what you're asking, man. I'm just going to use Wyvern 11 as an example. If you don't have any good tank unit, you don't have Angelica, you don't have Crow, you can build Crozet. He's good. You don't have any healers, you can use Montmorency, but you're going to need Rod. So make sure you can buy a Rod of Amaryllis out of the artifact shop whenever it gets in there. You'll get enough dust over time to get it. There's really no artifact substitute for her to where she can output that healing. She kind of needs that specific one. And then DPS Alexa. Like, Alexa's does a lot of damage to Wyvern when you put her on Joker and have decent gear on her. But I guess that answers that question for Wyvern, at least. For the other ones, they're a little bit more complicated. Will you ever do account reviews in the future? Maybe. I don't know. As of right now, I'm not. And that was from Kevin. M Fall. Here before the bump. Hashtag flex. All right, man. That works. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Q Levy. I think that's how you say that. Been watching some of your vids. Today I'm going to smash that sub button because why not? Well, I appreciate your sub. Question. What idea would you add to the E7 from other games? It can be an event type, modifications to current state of the game, etc. Personally, I'd like to see something similar to Brown Dust Arena where the rotation of banned heroes. Brown Dust is a perfect example because I would like to see a lower tier of Arena where you can't use 5 stars. I feel like that in the game would be amazing. So I'll take a note from you there and say the same thing. Take from Brown Dust. I played Brown Dust for a little bit. I just couldn't get into it. The gameplay was just boring to me. But I do like what they were doing with the game. Tons of free summons, and the 2 different tiers of Arena. I loved the ban rotations. It, throws a wrench in the meta. But yeah, I definitely agree with you with that. I do think they should do like rotation of ban heroes weekly. It would probably, it would definitely shake up the game a little bit and require people to think a bit more. But I do think a lower tier of Arena using 4 stars and 3 stars would be pretty cool. One 4-star and 3 3-stars. I think that would be neat. But in this game, I don't know, there's not a big enough unit pool. So people would come up with the cookie cutter thing. I could tell you right now that comp would be like, I don't know, some really high damage 4-star or a really annoying healer or a Corvus. And then there would be like Montmorency on the team with Falcon or Clury, and it would be full of specialty changes, I think. So I don't know. Something like that. I appreciate your question. And thank you again for the sub. I don't even know how to pronounce your last name, dude, so I'm just going to call you Trevin. Who would I trade ML Era for if you already have Ruli, MLCC, ML Ravi? Focuses are GWO. Oh, Guild War offense, Guild War defense, Arena offense. If you're Avildred is great for dog walking, but he's okay in offense. Your best option here is probably D Corvus, man. That's who I'm picking. You already have a Ruel. You can make some pretty disgusting teams already. D Corvus isn't the best on defense at my tier of Guild War. Top 10, top 20, D Corvus isn't as effective, but D Corvus is very oppressive in the higher rankings of, not higher rank, I guess lower rankings of Guild War. A lot of people don't have answers for him, so he's very good there. So yeah, that's that. God, this video's taking forever. All right, Pranada, right? Nice work, dude. I appreciate it. Question, what do you think about thick crowd built with lifesteal? I fought one and it's pretty annoying. I know YDCB uses it. Personally, I don't have any experience using crowd because, you know, I'm not lucky enough to get him. I would love to use him. But I do think the build is a concept. You know, he already gets a barrier from his S3 healing. I believe lifesteal heals 20%. So if he hits something for 20k, you know, that's 4k healing, right? On top of however big his barrier is. I think it's definitely doable. But you just need to make sure you have the other stats because you're going to be missing out on a bit running lifesteal. That's how I think about it, I guess. Okay, Rashid Brown. What should we prioritize during these free unequip events? Sometimes I catch myself unequipping stuff and not knowing what to do with it. Yeah, I fall in that trap too, man. The first time it came around, I literally unequipped all my heroes and then re-equipped them all to, you know, optimize builds, but everything was pretty much the same anyways. There was one equip event where I didn't even change anything. I just like it for Guild War because I can change my units around and not have it cost anything. That's nice. But prioritizing, you know, that's the time you really want to experiment with builds. And that's really what I can recommend there. Bubbo or Bubo? Bubbo. Bubbo. I'm going with Bubbo because Bubo sounds kind of sus. All right, it's your fat Yoshi there. What kind of skill set would you like in a future hero? I don't know. I said earlier I really like two-hand users. I like units that transform. You know, it'd be really cool. I don't know if any of you guys play Monster Hunter, but imagine, you know how Tamarin has her like change form? Imagine like a unit that has like a stance switching with like a charge blade. I think it's called charge blade. The thing that turns into a sword and shield, and you can combine it and turn it into a big ass axe. I think that would be awesome. Some kind of unit that can be tanky and then transform and then be a bruiser or be DPS. I think that would be amazing. That would probably be an ML hero, to be honest. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see. That shit would be dope. YOLO Loyo. Congrats and hope your channel continue to grow. Appreciate that, man. What more do you want for the game? Top 5 waifu and husbando. Sorry, I don't know what to ask here. All right, man. Well, I can't really throw this out on the spot. I'll give you my top 1 and 1. What more do I hope for the game? I want more content, more PvE content. Real-time arena would be cool. I want a more diverse unit pool. I want more gear slots. You know, I want more customization, you know, more skins. There's a lot of stuff I want. I'm pretty greedy. My number 1 waifu for Epic 7, I don't know. The husbando is obviously the mustache man, fucking Charles, dude. Corvus is just a second, and they're the 2 Mario brothers of Epic 7, but I gotta go with Luigi. Charles is just, you know, he's got the 2-handed sword. So, there you go. As for the waifu, I don't know, man. It's really stumping me. Because I like all of them. Probably Assassin Coley. Because she's got that belly. She's got a cute belly. Yeah, I'd say Assassin Coley. For sure. Weird question, but I answered it. Gratzball, what's your main objective in Epic 7 right now? From Pedro. My main objective is just improving my Guild Wars defenses. I have one pretty good one, but the other one is just, it's not performing how I'd like it to be. I got to try and go through these a little faster. How many more I got? Oh, only a couple more. Okay. From Taylor Mueller, I think I spelled that right. Say that right. It seems like a few of the buffs, and SSB counter Corvus pretty well. Would you change anything on his build or run him with certain units to keep him safe? If so, who or what would you change? Okay, thing with Corvus, people think SS Bologna counters him, and It depends. Like her alone as a main DPS will not kill a Corvus. And the reason is, like, yeah, she'll give him unhealable for 2 turns, right? But while he's taking all that damage, he's building up fighting spirit. Like, he's still going to use his S3 even if he has unhealable on him, and then he's going to attack. Then after that, the unhealable's gone, and her S3 is on cooldown. And then he just heals the next time he can do it. So I don't think SS Bologna is a counterpick to him, even if she can ignore effect resist. You would have to be able to kill him in that window, which is doable if you have another DPS with him. But you could also run a higher damage unit than SS Bologna and probably be more successful with that because her damage output isn't that great, especially if you're just trying to kill a Corvus. So I really wouldn't change anything. I think the best way to use Corvus is to put him with high damage threats. That way it forces your opponent to bring something to tank that damage and something to sustain that damage. So they have to be able to kill your Corvus with a single damage unit. Okay, this is how Corvus is used in a Guild War defense. So take out your notepad and jot that down. If you're trying to use Corvus, that's how you use him in defense. He doesn't need a healer. Basically, he's a win condition in that he can stall out the enemy. Whoever's attacking you, he can stall them out. So, like for instance, I use Violet Dizzy Corvus. It's very like Violet threatens a Luna that they would try to bring to kill my Corvus, for example. You know what I mean? But they also have to be able to sustain the damage from Violet, and they're going to be able to want to cleanse the damage that my cleanse debuffs from Dizzy as well. I do think you do need, for that reason, with like Luna, and there's even like Karin and stuff like that, you need effect resist on your Corvus. That way you don't get comboed into with a defense break. There is ways of dealing with Corvus on defense, and I've shared it with some people. Actually, if you watch my most recent Guild War video against Ambition, I talk about how to beat a Corvus on there, and you can see examples of the comps that I'm talking about right now and how I beat them with what I just explained, pretty much. So yeah, that's really how you deal with him. I don't think SS Bologna counters him, to be honest. Janie Ronan, I'm really curious about what you've decided to build Fighter Maya like you have. So like why I did it that way with destruction, I don't know. I gotta give shout outs to Linda, like, because her Fighter Maya is definitely the best on the server. Fighter Maya is just, she's great. Her S2 is just so good. Immune to debuffs, self-defense buff, damage scales off defense. Like, I'm probably gonna do a video talking about Fighter Maya because I don't think she's underrated anymore, because a lot of people are starting to use her and catch on that she's really good. But her damage, like she does 0.75% of her defense's damage on top of her attack modifier. I'm not sure what that is, but that scaled with crit damage, she actually hits really hard if you invest. She gains 50% more damage on her S1 if you mole it max, I think. So when you invest into her, she can really chunk people, and she can build full tank to do that. She doesn't need attack, so that's why I like her, and that's why I tried to build her that way. EDM Freak, who would you want as the next specialty change, and why is it not Wanda? Dude, I would love a Wanda specialty change. Like, she's dope. I think mine's like double S or something. So it is Wanda. So how about that? Savage Sleepy, what are your future plans for your channel? I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing videos, dude. I'm trying to collab with more YouTubers and get us involved with each other, because I think that would be beneficial for the community. And then, just continue to grow. I would like to stream eventually, but life happens sometimes. But yeah, those are kind of my plans. And then I got 2 congrats here from Crazy7 and Renato. I don't even know how to say that, dude. I'm not going to butcher it. But I appreciate you guys for the congrats. Really good questions. I had to think. I probably should have read through these before I started going so I could have it not take so long. But I kind of want it authentic to where I'm recording the first time I read the question. I appreciate you guys being subs. I'm assuming everyone here is a sub. If you're not a sub, why are you not a sub? Just hit the sub button. It doesn't even cost anything. It's free. Like, if someone offered you a free Snickers, would you decline it? Like, Warbalt's YouTube channel is a free Snickers. You just take it. It's free. Just hit the sub button. That's the weirdest plug I've ever done or heard. But if you listen to all the way to the end, write in the comments, hashtag Warbalt is a Snickers. I'm curious. See how many people actually watch all the way to the end of the video. Because I think this video is like 30 minutes long. So it's going to take me a while to upload it. But that's fine. I appreciate you guys watching. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. There's going to be no outro to this because of the way I'm recording it. My phone's upright, not sideways. So that transition would look weird. But you guys have a good one. Thanks for your support. Peace out.